How we doing? How we doing on time? All right, first off, thanks to Jody, Chris Ball, Don Mariuto Jr., Todd Roy, Ken Lancaster, and the rest of the board for this incredible honor, their hard work in putting this event together. It's something that when I first set foot on campus, I could have never imagined. Also, thanks to Greg Mark and Tom Lehman, my friends, and also members of the Hall of Fame, for their contribution to the University of Miami in making it such a unique and wonderful place. I've always found it challenging to talk about myself, but I've usually found that others' words are better than my own. So I'll begin by reading you a letter that I received a few weeks ago from someone who actually donated this picture to me, and somebody I think you all remember as being a hurricane great. Dear Casey, this picture sure captures the Casey Jones I knew. Prowling, focused, ready to fight. I wanted to tell them folks at the banquet what kind of man you are, how hard you practiced and played, how talented and dominating you were, and what an absolute joy it was to coach you. Enjoy this great night for you and your family, and congratulate the other inductees. I only hope I can coach the likes of you sometime again in my career. I doubt it. Congratulations, you are the best. Coach Art Kehoe. Coach Kehoe was one of the biggest reasons I came to the University of Miami. His love for the game, his love for his players, and the love of Miami football is still unequaled. I never felt the least bit self-conscious about being intense or passionate or excited or showing any type of emotion on the field because I knew Coach Kehoe was always more excited than I was. I miss him, I love him, and I want everybody here to know that I wouldn't be up here right now or had near the success I had if it wasn't for him. Coach Kehoe never lost sight of the fact that football is supposed to be fun. It's not worth it otherwise. And tell you what, I had so much fun playing here, it's ridiculous. I'm still expecting to walk out to the mailbox one day and get a bill or be served a summons for all the fun I had. Soon. I'm sure to some it looked brutal or painful, but to me it was pure joy. Whether running onto the Orange Bowl field for a night game in front of 80,000 people or running out to face my teammates at practice, I got so much joy out of knowing that a marginally talented athlete, undersized white boy from Midland, Texas, could not only play with the most athletically gifted athletes in the world, but impose my will on them in such a way that they would rather quit than face me. To me, yeah, that's right. That's right. Just ask me. To me, that's what made the long days, the fights, the crooked fingers, the surgeries all worth it. This joy can never be lost, never be altered, and I know it'll stay with me my whole life long. I shouldn't dismiss myself so quickly as being talentless. My special talent, my greatest gift, is that I've always had the ability to surround myself with talented people. My dad, who's here, if anybody hasn't met him, he's got a way with words like nobody else. I love him to death. He was actually a coach of my Little League football team back in 3rd grade. And on our way to a 1-9 season, my dad pulled me aside and told me something I'll never forget. He said, "Casey, sometimes you're only as good as the players around you. And right now, you're not very good." From that moment on, I knew that to be successful, you need to be surrounded with the best. I surrounded myself with great, talented people that supported me, encouraged me, loved me, and made me part of something greater. Of course, no one can argue that I didn't play with some of the most elite athletes college football could offer at Miami. But my teammates, especially on the O-line, were unselfish and always made me look good. But then again, who doesn't look good next to Rich Mercier? Rich is here. Rich is here somewhere. My dad instilled in me the confidence, the mental toughness, the saltiness, that nasty competitive edge, and the work ethic that made me successful. He was my second harshest critic, second only to myself, but he was also my number one fan. In letters he would write to me before big games, he would tell me that I was the best center he had ever seen play the game. And to tell you the truth, I never imagined being the best until my dad told me I was. Thanks, Dad. My twin brother, Chris, he's actually at the bar right now. I learned recently that the only way my parents had got a good night's sleep while I was in Miami was because they knew my big brother, Chris, and his wife, Susan, were looking out for me. They actually moved down to Miami to watch over me. My brother always set a great example for me, did his best to keep me out of trouble and provided me with a very safe place where I could go to take a break from my crazy, crazy life. My brother was actually a student trainer with the team my junior year and probably got a little bit more than he bargained for. One of my favorite Orange Bowl moments was when my brother as a student trainer ran onto the field with a water bottle, and I snagged the water bottle out of his hand and went on to spray his khaki shorts down and made a big pee stain in front. So he ran back from the huddle on the field in front of 50,000 people, a little bit red. But to me, it was priceless. My mom has always been and will always be the sweetest, nicest, most endearing ladies anyone will ever meet. But it's her inner strength and capacity for love that I'm most thankful for. Mom, you were always in my heart when I was on the field. The emotion, the passion, and the emotional strength that I displayed while playing had everything to do with you. I know that it would always shock her to see me on the field and how intense her baby boy and how violent her baby boy could be. But she knew even the toughest, nastiest guy in the field would always need a hug after every game. Thank you, Mom. I love you. Which leads me to my friends. Once arriving in Coral Gables, it took me a while, but eventually I surrounded myself with great friends. To tell you the truth, I wouldn't have lasted a year at Miami without my friends. These friends, including Kevin Brinkworth and the entire Brinkworth family, Daniel Pascantilli, Daniel McCarthy, Larry Littrell, my favorite quarterback of all time, Ryan Clement, my favorite Canadian of all time, Richard Mercier, Ben Slepian, Damien Abadi, Todd Roy, Bruce Ebers, Kevin Patrick, and Darren Crine, to name a few, invited me into their lives and their homes. They fed me, tolerated my many moods, listened as my morning alarm clock would go off for 2, sometimes 3 hours. They helped me break out of my shell, taught me how to laugh at myself. It gave me the gift of good times, friendship, and let me know that not everything is deadly serious. They're the perfect yin to my yang. It's no wonder that my best friends in college are still my best friends today. Remember when I mentioned the bill or the summons coming to me one day? Well, they're probably looking for it too. And if you want stories, well, talk to Kevin Brinkworth. I think he brought a videotape. Kevin? Videotape? Nobody. Dead silence. Sing on. Anyway, I'll wrap it up here. I'd have to say the greatest part of my UM experience is that it doesn't end when you leave the campus. Always for the better, the relationships you build here last your whole life. A great example of this is my best friend and partner in business, Bruce Eberst. I work with him at Wachovia Securities. So what really excites me the most about my whole UM experience is the fun is just beginning. So with that said, and as I ring out the last drop of my playing days at UM, I wish to congratulate all the inductees here tonight on this well-deserved honor. And I also hope your speeches are shorter than mine. Yeah, that's great. It's a joy. The joy I felt can never be lost and never fades, and I can revisit it in my heart anytime I want. I don't even have to put my hand down on the ground because the joy I feel is remembered in every person, every friend, and every family member that has gotten me to this point tonight. Thank you all very much for this honor. Thank you all for listening. And thank you all for so much love. Love you too.
Thank you, big guy. Good job.
How was that?
Good job.